Huge crypto whales have just started closing out Bitcoin trades, something that they always do just before we see significant volatility return to the crypto markets. And after weeks of sideways action for Bitcoin and altcoin prices, it should be no surprise that we're about to see a very big move taking place soon. But in which direction? Will the bears finally win and be able to push price lower like many traders out there are calling for? Or will the bulls be able to finally regain control with a significant bounce from Bitcoin and the altcoins? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you historically what has always played out after these different signals flashing. I'm also going to talk about what I'm doing in my own personal crypto portfolio to prepare for the next few weeks ahead, because it could be a fairly rocky road unless you're prepared correctly. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's get into today's video. Now guys, before we dive in and find out why the whales are starting to close up those positions, what it is really showing is going on behind the scenes, and what I'm doing to prepare for it, just a quick disclaimer. Nothing I say in this video is financial advice. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes only. If you wish to invest in crypto, you should understand that it's risky. You can lose money. So don't risk money that you can't afford to lose, and always do your own research before investing in anything. Now that we got that out of the way, let's crack on with it. Now guys, first things first, let's find out exactly why these Bitcoin whales have been closing out their leveraged long positions and whether or not we should be worried about this. Let's jump across to tradingview.com. On top, we have Bitcoin US dollar long positions over on Bitunix. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Bitunix is an OG crypto exchange. It's been around since 2012. It's where a lot of institutions, OG traders, and smart money are basically trading crypto positions. What also is very helpful for us is that a lot of the data that is presented via these different traders through Bitunix is publicly available knowledge, which means that we can access this knowledge and use it to draw conclusions from historical data and what we can expect to see happen next. Okay, so on top, you got the long positions, number of long positions, and on the bottom, you have the Bitcoin price. Now, if you look at these dashed vertical lines, the black lines, you can see that these line up tops to bottoms. And you can also check the dates of them to see that they line up as well. Now, you can see on the top, every single time we have a significant decline in the number of Bitcoin long positions. That typically happens just before we see a significant push up in the Bitcoin price, okay? This happened back at the start of January 2024. You can see Bitcoin went from around $40,000 to $70,000 in the space of 3 weeks. This happened again in October 24. You can see within 3 or 4 weeks, Bitcoin went from down around $65,000 all the way up to about $106,000. This then happened tariff lows before. You can see Bitcoin goes up and the number of longs decreases significantly, and right now you can see they have started to curl over and start to drop towards the downside. So you're probably thinking, well, okay, why would whales be closing out their long positions just before Bitcoin goes up? Well, ultimately, they're doing it not because they think Bitcoin's about to go up, but because they're not really sure what's about to happen. You see, when the price goes sideways for a long period of time, like Bitcoin has been doing more recently and has done in the past, it typically means that a lot of orders, trading orders, are stacked up on either side of the price. Here's why. If you look at the Bitcoin price right now, you've got highs of around $94,000, where Bitcoin has really struggled to break beyond that over the past few weeks. Every time it has, it's just been rejected. And lows of around sort of $84,000 to kind of $86,000 or so. Yes, it did break down one quick little wick here, but mostly it's just been ranging in and around here. Now, what happens is underneath, you end up getting lots of stop losses from lots of long trades, and on top, you get lots of stop losses from short trades. Now, while the market seems to be kind of balanced right now, effectively, what it's creating is a very volatile kind of scenario, okay? Because basically, when it breaks one way or the other, eventually, it's going to move very quickly, very rapidly. And if you are a large-scale whale, you're holding lots of money in trading leverage positions, right now, you probably don't want to be exposed too much to volatility, because as you've probably seen in the past, it's very difficult to identify in the short term where these moves might take you. You can see that just before, when we had that low, Bitcoin had another sweep of the low here. Okay, so it went to 76, it went back up to around sort of 88, it then swept down to 76 again. Sometimes it sweeps, sometimes it doesn't sweep. You get the picture. Ultimately, if the price does move up here, it's great if you're holding just as a spot trader, but you're not really necessarily wanting to be leveraged in this, because there is a chance that you see a swing lower here, but you also don't want to be going short, because obviously you could also see a swing straight higher here. So ultimately, the more we see sideways price action, the more the whales are inclined to start closing out their long positions, which is what we're starting to see take place right now. So you're probably thinking, well, every single time over the past few years that we've seen the Bitcoin longs go down, Bitcoin price has shot up, so we should be expecting to see the Bitcoin price shoot up once more. Yes? Well, maybe. Let's check it out. This is Bitcoin value days destroyed. And while the last chart shows you the long positions or the leveraged long positions, this shows you spot positions. Now, it basically shows you the number of old Bitcoin that are sold off at any given point. Now, what's an old Bitcoin versus a new one? Let's say I bought a Bitcoin back in 2012 and I was still holding it till today. That would be a very old Bitcoin. But I could have bought a Bitcoin last week and held it to today, and that wouldn't be a very old Bitcoin at all, because that would have an age of around 7 days, whereas the Bitcoin before would have an age of like 13 years. Now, when we get these spikes in this chart, it shows lots of people who've been holding Bitcoin for a very long period of time as selling. So for example, at the start of 2024, we had this orange spike towards the upside, showing a lot of very old Bitcoin was getting offloaded. This would have typically come from miners and lots of others like that. And over time, we've had lots of other spikes to the upside for the VDD as well, which is the value days destroyed, which is yellow. But what we want to pay attention to right now is what's happening right this second. And you can see it's very green. And that shows us that we have a low VDD. And over time, you can see there's green areas where you have low VDD, which means that people are not selling old Bitcoin. It means that people who've been holding Bitcoin a long time are not interested in selling Bitcoin at these key points. And notably, every single time that we get these key areas, price then moves up fairly significantly straight after. These green areas always coincide or have coincided with lows in the market. These same lows are the same lows that coincide with what you're seeing over here. Okay, so a lot of the leveraged longs get reduced after kind of sideways price action before volatility returns. And around this time, you start to see a lot less selling pressure from the long-term holders. Okay, so long-term holders stop selling, and in fact, they start buying and accumulating in these lows. Okay, and at the same time, a lot of the traders who are trying to avoid volatility will reduce their exposure. Now, this is a very good, very positive thing about whales starting to close out leverage longs, because once those leverage positions are reduced, funding rates come down, it is easier for price to be moved by the exchanges without liquidating too many people. Because if you liquidate too many people in one go, obviously it creates cascading price action. Now, if you're wondering what that is, you probably can think back to October the 10th, when we saw prices plummet. Basically, it liquidates one, it liquidates the next, pushes prices lower, keeps liquidating people. Obviously, you probably think that all the market makers and everyone made tons of money on that day, but actually, lots of market makers went out of business on that day. Market makers do not like cascading price action. So they try and sweep out when there's too much leverage in the market before they start to move. And it means the price is controlled more kind of purely, more organically by spot price rather than over leverage. Remember, if something is over leveraged and being pumped up high, it can be very volatile because any big sell-offs trigger those liquidations. And there's a very good chance that we start to see volatility returning Tuesday afternoon. Okay, CPI data, inflation data, because this inflation data should give us a clear idea of what the Fed are going to be doing later on this month. So right now, what should we be doing in the short term? Well, as I've alluded to, this CPI data has the ability to push the Bitcoin price either slightly out this green box or slightly below into the lower part of this green box. But ultimately, I think it's important to look at the crypto market like this. This is how I'm personally looking at it. I've obviously been aware, and I've been banging on about it like you probably are getting tired of, that QE or quantitative easing and money and liquidity being pumped into markets is what drives crypto bull markets. Crypto goes up, Bitcoin and altcoins, because there's more liquidity in the market. Okay, crypto goes down because there's less liquidity in the market. Right now, we're at a transition point. We've just started to see more liquidity arrive in the markets. Okay, which is why the Federal Reserve balance sheet looks like this, which is why you're starting to see China and lots of other places around the world and our old friend the M2 money supply going up. Yes, it's not perfectly correlated like it was for a good year or so, but it's still fairly correlated, and we will talk about that more in other videos. As that continues higher, it's going to continue to put more positive pressure on the crypto market. So in terms of holding positions, I'm pretty happy to be buying and holding cryptos to try and sell some point later on this year, where I think many cryptos will be at significantly higher valuations than they will be right now. But in the short term, anything could happen. We could sweep into the bottom of this green box down towards sort of 84 to 80k, or we could just be continuing higher. Now, in my own ideas, we could have two scenarios. We could be right now trying to trap many bears into thinking that this is a bear flag. And it does look like a bear flag, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to break down like a bear flag, because there's only around a 64 to 67% chance of it breaking down. Yes, this is why trading in the shorter term can be a bit risky, and this is why those whales like to get out when the market's going sideways. They like to get in when the market pumps back up for better conviction trades. So there's a chance that we could sweep down towards these lows, or we could just continue to push higher as that liquidity returns to the market. Because ultimately, every single time we've seen a lot of this going around here, we haven't seen significant selling off ever since the end of last year. And there's a lot of other signals out there suggesting that the liquidity is returning. One of the first places that we often see returning liquidity is in the silver price, which literally, as I speak, is at all-time high. Now, I know people get carried away when prices go vertical like this, but eventually they do top out. This is the first sign that liquidity is returning. Other solid signs that you have liquidity returning are in the copper price. There's also just started to break into new highs territory. Over the last few weeks as well, you've started to see copper outperforming gold, which is very important because gold basically signals risk off market. No one wants to take any risk. Take the store of value, which is gold. Copper, however, is the other thing. It shows when markets are starting to look more positive, more manufacturing is going on, people are building electric cars, people are building homes. This typically uses up a lot of copper, and this forces the price of copper up. So when copper is going up against gold, which you can see is clearly bottomed here, then we are starting to look towards brighter times for the economy, and that means risk assets will do better than before. And here's very key risk assets that are starting to do well. This is the Russell. This is like the others chart of the stock market, okay? It's kind of the smaller cap altcoins, and as you can see, has broken into all-time highs. This has always happened just before we start to see a run for Bitcoin and the altcoins, and is likely what we're going to start to see again. So what I see in the next few days, up to the next kind of like 2 to 4 weeks, is potentially more chop, but potentially more upside price action. I don't think Bitcoin breaks to new lows. I think it's going to hold around this current range. And I think actually altcoins have started to outperform Bitcoin and will continue to do so. I mean, look, this is the others versus Bitcoin chart. It's looking very similar to what we've seen on that copper versus gold chart. Effectively, others versus Bitcoin bottomed back in June last year. It might not have felt like it. Like, if you've been holding altcoins, it could have still been painful, but you may have started to see a lot of sort of strong, high conviction altcoins bouncing back very strongly. We've had Render bouncing strongly, Virtuals, you've had Sui, and a few others having very strong runs back towards the upside, even though Bitcoin has kind of remained a little bit flat. This is predominantly because this chart here is showing the conditions are changing. We're moving from risk off to risk on, and many altcoins right now sit at significant value. Now, later this week, I will make a video talking about different altcoins, different trends that I'm personally looking at. I know that it's not going to be very popular because people don't want to look at buying altcoins right now. They only like to buy altcoins when this chart's pumping up here, which is typically why people get so upset when the markets move back down to where they are right now. But given that this is a key turning point, one that we haven't seen happen in the world of macroeconomics for about 4 or 5 years now, it should be showing us right now that a significant change is on the horizon. And the first piece of advice right now is this: risk to reward in crypto is everything. Everything is equal and opposite. Okay, lots of people buy Bitcoin. It doesn't come with any significant returns, but the good news is it doesn't come with so much risk because we know that it kind of goes up over time. Even when it goes through kind of like small down periods like now, it eventually kind of picks up over time. It doesn't go up that much. It doesn't come down that much. It's much less volatile. As you go down the list, you start to get towards like Solana, which goes up a lot more, but can also come down more. And then you go down to really small cap coins like meme coins and AI agents and other things like that are hugely volatile. People buy them because they want to bet 50x or 100x, but if the market comes down, they can often come down 95 to 98%. Doesn't mean that they can't recover, but they're obviously more volatile. So anything small cap, okay, the good returns are there potentially, but there's also a lot of risk. So just think of it like that. Now, where I think you get a very good risk to reward potential is by going over to DeFiLlama.com and finding a lot of the kind of not necessarily top 10 crypto projects, but other crypto projects that are starting to gain a lot of momentum behind the scenes. And all you got to do is come and look at the different chains and see how the different chains are doing. You can see like the base ecosystem here is one that's worth paying attention to because this is barely seen much of a pullback at all. This is the chain that's part of Coinbase, and there's a lot of different coins that are operating in this area. You can go and see some of the different exchanges like Morpho. Here you got Uniswap, obviously everyone knows, Aerodrome Finance, Superchain. You've got a few different kind of positions in here that give you exposure to that base ecosystem. You can go to Sui and see Sui is starting to pick back up in terms of the total value locked. You can see some of the different positions on Sui and what's starting to gain traction over there. If, however, you want to just look at all and look at the ones that are gaining the most traction, go and look at these ones here. Just click on all, go down to fees paid. Obviously, you've got Tether here, USDT, probably the safest bet of them all, but the lowest ROI. You can go through, you can see like Pump Fun here, you've got Lido, you've got Meteora, you've got Hyperliquid, you've got Jupiter, you've got Aether, you've got 4Meme, you've got Jito. A lot of these projects, once the market starts to warm up again, you will see them warming up very, very quickly. And that's because these projects have been making hundreds of thousands, if not in some cases, millions of dollars a day. They use this money to buy back into tokens. They use this money to buy marketing support. They use this money to pump market making back up higher. And they will start to push their prices back up once the market regains conviction. And right now, all of this data, all of these signals are being shown to you about which projects are probably undervalued. I know many people will look at the charts and think, oh, I should be buying Render right now because Render's been pumping. Yes, Render typically does front run the markets along with Sui. They do tend to do quite well. But don't just go and jump into the coins that are pumping already. Okay, these coins are pumping already. You've probably been feeling sorry for yourself because your altcoins are down like 80, 90%. But ultimately, that's because you were buying coins that were pumping back in the day. Now, Render is the only coin or one of the only coins pumping, and you're going and buying it again. You're literally doing the only thing that leaves you in such a world of hurt like it did last time. Go and find these coins that are showing you right now that things are going on behind the scenes for them. They're strong projects, but go and find them where they have really bad looking charts, because eventually those charts will start to look a lot better than the majority of the crypto market. And we will look at that later on this week in a video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to catch that. We'll do a lot deeper analysis of different projects here that I think are going to show some significant upside. We'll talk about robotics, we'll talk about AI, we'll talk about real world assets, we'll talk about DePIN, we'll talk about gaming, we'll talk about DeFi and where I see some of the best opportunities going. I still continue to hold a lot of the cryptos that I've been holding over the last few years, adding to certain positions, maybe taking away from some of the other ones, but I'll give you more clarity on that as well. Also, if you are trying to trade or learning how to trade these markets, particularly during this kind of like choppy, difficult time, then make sure you do it with some support. I've got a free trading group down below. It's a Telegram group. You can just go and join that group. Over there, we've got expert traders who trade the markets full time. They are teaching people, they're giving different trading signals and showing people their trades and how they come up with those different trades. So if you want to go and learn to trade for absolutely free, then go and join that link down below. Also, if you made it this far through the video, then do me a favor, just hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you very soon in another video.